Welcome to Hanover on the Autobahn to Berlin, halfway across northern Germany. And here is Corrie Sanders. He's been a great athlete in his time. He played rugby for Transvaal B. He could run 100 meters in 11.2 seconds. He's got a golf handicap of 1, and he's been on the fringe of world class in the heavyweight division for some time now. But this is late in his career at 37. Taking this fight at 5 weeks' notice. He says it's his last chance, Glenn, and he's right about that.
Yes, he is right about that. And significantly over the last 5 or 6 years, he's only had about 6 contests, so he hasn't been that active. So, you don't think he's really right with the boxing. He knows this is a big chance. He knows he can make an awful lot of money if he gives everything and wins this one.
Big crowd, big atmosphere. Wladimir Klitschko is huge news in Germany. It's a sellout here at the Preissag Arena on the outskirts of Hanover. Sanders coming in rather unpromisingly to a song called Stand Up. Let's hope he does.
Let's hope he does. Let's hope he does for a while.
Very likeable fellow is Sanders. He admits it's hard to get up for fights at this late stage of his career, and this is a surprise chance for him. But this is a fellow who's beaten world champions, Britain's Johnny Nelson, Bobby Ches, Al Cole, people like that. He demolished Britain's Michael Sprott in 85 seconds a couple of years ago. He can hit. That makes him dangerous, Glenn.
Of course it does. He's a heavyweight and he can hit. As you say, big puncher. And he's got the puncher's chance, and I think that he knows that, his people know that. And that's what he's going to be looking for. That's what could make it very exciting early on.
Now just listen to the reception now for Wladimir Klitschko. As Sanders just takes a bow. It's been part rock concert, part boxing here tonight in Hanover.
Und hier kommt
videos and goodness knows what else.
Deutschen Boxfans ein Jahr lang warten mussten. Er will heute seinen Titel im Schwergewicht zum 6. Mal verteidigen. Aus dem Boxcamp Universum Box Promotion in
Wladimir Klitschko on this Universum Promotions in Germany, where boxing's very big news. Here comes Klitschko, and if Lennox Lewis is the king of the heavyweights, Wladimir Klitschko is the young prince, the heir to the throne. 40 wins in 41 fights. Likeable, articulate, very much the acceptable face of boxing if he does become the man over the next few years, making his 6th defense of the WBO's version of the heavyweight championship tonight. He's already beaten the IBF champion Chris Bird, and that looks a great win now, Glenn.
That was a great win, but I wonder how he feels about being introduced as he comes out for this big fight as Vitaly.
Oh, was he? What, by the MC?
The MC called him Vitaly Klitschko.
Oh dear, he might not be working next time.
No, he might not be. That was a big mistake. But he's a very good fighter. He's come the whole way, right from the Olympics. It was only 1920 when he won the Olympic Games gold medal, and he's come through it very well. Just one little blip. He lost the fight to Ross Purity. He's only 22. But is there a question mark about his chin?
And guess who Sanders has been sparring with in preparation for this fight? Ross Purity.
Exactly right there. He obviously wants to see if Ross Purity knows the key, if he's got anything he can learn from to beat Wladimir Klitschko.
He's a thoroughly decent bloke, and he's a very, very accomplished fighter, Wladimir Klitschko. Not everybody's convinced yet. And he's certainly been working his way through the back catalogue of name heavyweights, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's come up the way as Universal bring their boxers. They give them lots of fights, lots of experience, but then they're ready when they get there. Got it right that time, Ian.
Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, ich möchte Ihnen jetzt die Boxer näher vorstellen.
So the ring introductions, and Sanders, of course, as the challenger for this WBO heavyweight title will be first. Now he's 37, a decade older than the guy in front of him.
Yes, he is. I mean, there's no mistake. He's at the end of his career. But can he have one big night?
Er bestritt 40 Kämpfe. Davon gewann er
Only
38.
2 defeats though. One to Nate Tubbs in a couple of rounds back in '94 and beaten in 7 by Hasim Rahman, who went on to become world heavyweight champion. And Rahman was out on his feet at one stage in that fight.
Aus Südafrika, Corrie Sanders.
How much has he got left though? That's the key question. Everybody dressed up to the nines here tonight. They do it in style over here, don't they?
They really do. It's a real big occasion.
Und nun zum amtierenden Weltmeister Wladimir Klitschko. Sein Alter 26 Jahre. Seine Größe 2 Meter. Er brachte beim Wiegen ein Gewicht von 110
So here's Klitschko, and the key thing about him, I think, is that alone among the top 10 heavyweights, this fellow is the only one in his 20s.
Davon gewann
That's a big key. This, you know, we're probably looking at the future of heavyweight boxing.
41 fights already, and by this stage of Lennox Lewis's career in terms of fights, he was the 3-time world heavyweight champion. But the point is, Klitschko's got a lot of time on his side.
Die Betreuer, Michael Timm, Matthias Böhme und der Trainer, der heute zum 69. Mal bei einem
Klitschko
WM-Kampf
from Kiev in the Ukraine, and among the crowd watching him tonight is the great pole vaulter from the Ukraine, Sergei Bubka, who's sitting just behind us in front, in fact. It's about Klitschko's vaulting
Und
ambitions
natürlich ein Mann
tonight.
nicht zu vergessen. Der Bruder des amtierenden Weltmeisters.
I think before we get much further, there's due to be a couple of national anthems played.
There's Vitaly, the brother of Wladimir,
who was supposed to be fighting Lennox Lewis, and Lennox doesn't seem very interested in fighting him, does he? He doesn't think he's big enough yet or has done enough.
Meine Damen und Herren, ich möchte Ihnen jetzt den Ringrichter dieses Kampfes vorstellen. Es ist Mr. Gennaro Rodriguez aus den USA.
Referee from Chicago, Gennaro Rodriguez tonight. 2 judges from America, 1 from Germany.
John Stewart, USA.
There they
Dr.
are.
Clark,
John Stewart, Clark, Sammartino,
aus den USA,
and Axel
und
Zieke.
Axel Zieke aus Deutschland.
Be surprised if he goes to points,
dieses
quite
Kampfes,
honestly.
der WBO, Mr. Francisco Valcarcel, ebenfalls aus den USA. Die Ringärzte, Professor Walter
Klitschko
Wagner,
has scored 26
Dr.
wins inside
Bruno
3
Holt
rounds,
und die
and
Zeitnehmer
Sanders has got
Arnold
18
Dolger und
first-round
Henry
knockouts
Brummer.
on his record. And I wonder whether he might go for it early, Sanders.
Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, ich darf Sie jetzt bitten, sich von Ihren Plätzen zu erheben. Es erklingen die nationalen
So here we go with the
beiden
national
Boxer.
anthems, and first of all it'll be the South African anthem for Corrie Sanders. And probably watching somewhere is that great man Nelson Mandela, big boxing fan. the Ukrainian national anthem for Wladimir Klitschko. Multilingual, and we're told with a taste for caviar and pancakes.
That's not bad taste, is it?
And he'll be able to afford plenty, I would think, as he keeps on selling out the arenas. There's 12,000 in here in this Preissag arena tonight. What a job they've done promoting him over here. A Ukrainian in Germany, but of course he's based in Hamburg.
Yes, he's based in Hamburg, but there's a wonderful job. I mean, they really have worked on him, and you know, he's done it in the ring.
Starting as a big favourite. Be 27 later this month. Fritz Sadunek, the trainer. There'll be no change to an American trainer. That was made clear to us last night by Klaus-Peter Cole, the promoter, who says this is the best man. This is the man who knows this fellow back to front. And he has a very, very high-tech training regime as well, including diet.
I give you instructions. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Punches here are good. Punches here are
17
good.
stone for Klitschko, 16 stone for Sanders. No surprise there, though. I think the South African just carrying a bit of condition, isn't he?
Yes, a little bit, but you can forgive him. The heavyweights often do.
By the way, Lennox Lewis phoned up Corrie Sanders last night, I'm told, with a few tips as to how he might go about beating Wladimir Klitschko. Not that Lewis has been in the same ring as him, other than in the film Ocean's 11. And that wasn't for real, of course. We'd love to see the real thing, but there's no real sign of it at the moment. I think Lennox Lewis may be fighting Tyson again. Off we go. First round, WBO heavyweight title, red trunks, defending champion Wladimir Klitschko, the white of Corrie Sanders, who does have this punch and has a habit of knocking out people early. But he's only had 3 rounds in 3 years, Sanders. That would be a worry.
He's going to try and get his jab off early. That's the key. If you can take away Klitschko's jab, then you've got to give him a chance of getting into this fight.
Klitschko looked a very thorough technician last time out in dismantling the hopes of the American prospect Jamil McCline, forcing the stoppage late that night. Good left hand there by Sanders, fighting out of the southpaw stance. Wladimir has beaten the top southpaw in Chris Bird. But this might be something a little bit different. I think Sanders will be is very, very knowing. He's been around this game, not only in fights, but in gyms, sparring with top heavyweights for year after year. Used to be pretty quick too with his hands.
Yes, he has got fast hands. Nice quick left, just pushing that out.
Klitschko reaching with the right hand and not getting there. He was just troubled by a little left early on from Sanders, which came as a timely reminder.
He is wary. You see, he's watching out for that left counter coming back at him.
Looking for the left hand instead. Nice jab, and listen to the fans respond to that as Klitschko gets that little confidence, but then with some real devil, and he's hurt by that left hand by Sanders. Just dropped his right glove, and Sanders took advantage. Well, well. Some drama there.
I think it is the speed of Sanders that is troubling Klitschko.
Just picking 1 or 2 holes in the Klitschko defense.
Rocking the head back of Klitschko.
And he's going to be the left hand and floored him. Goodness gracious me. And will he get up from that left hand from Corrie Sanders? We might have a sensation here. Wladimir Klitschko all over the place. Just about clambers to his feet. Is blinking. Eyes in orbit. And now it becomes a battle for survival. Corrie Sanders has got him again. He's got him again. This time he's up very quickly, looks cut as well. There are only 7 seconds left in the round and the bell cannot come quickly enough. Are the hopes of Wladimir Klitschko about to be demolished here? He's got through the opening round, but what incident, what drama. Very, very nearly knocked out in one in what would have have been the biggest sensation in many a year.
Well, certainly would have been. What a good punch. The fast left hand, giving him so much trouble. He really was out. And if the bell had come any later, this fight would be over. Great start for Sanders. Look at that. That fast left hand from the southpaw. And down he goes.
Maybe that was the tip from Lennox Lewis.
Well, whatever Lennox said, it worked, but the speed, a good start, quick start, and what did we say about the punch power of Sanders? He's always got a chance.
He only just about beat the count. And here, huge holes have been knocked in the reputation of Wladimir Klitschko, whatever happens now. Second round. Sanders will fancy here that he can score a knockdown, and he's got him again! Straight left hand this time! Down he goes for the third time already, and this is early in the round. This looks like curtains for Wladimir Klitschko. It's going to have to be stopped, I think, because Klitschko is rocking and rolling all over the ring. He goes down again, and it is stopped all over round two. That is one of the biggest turn-ups you will see in a boxing ring in a long, long time.
Well, unbelievable. The South Africans behind us are celebrating, frantically jumping all over each other. Corrie Sanders, with his speed, has pulled up what looked a very difficult task and absolutely destroyed Wladimir Klitschko.
It was his last chance, and my, how he took it. Mass celebrations. Nobody, but nobody would have predicted that. And all the hopes and pretensions of Wladimir Klitschko have been blown to smithereens here. The crowd are stunned. I don't think anybody among the hardened boxing observers, including our colleagues from America who thought that Wladimir Klitschko was the next big thing, they cannot believe it. I'm not sure I can either.
Well, he did it so well. It really was. The hand speed was the key. We said 18 first round wins, almost had a 19th, instead a second round win.
Can Corrie Sanders believe it? Either there was another left hand, and those were the punches that did it. Bang! Right through the middle. And really, whatever happened after that, there was only one winner. Rocked to the core they are here by this. And that's going to send reverberations right the way around the world heavyweight scene. And what an eventful 3 weeks we've had. Tyson with a 49-second win. Roy Jones's amazing performance last week. And now this. Veteran Corrie Sanders comes in and blows away Wladimir Klitschko. Only the second time he's lost in 40-second fights. But, Glenn, where is Wladimir Klitschko now?
Well, he's just been totally exposed, hasn't he? Really, really has. But let's not take any away from Sanders. You know, he did it well. He counted, you know, perfectly with the left hand. He was prepared, and he really has just put a tremendous shock into heavyweight boxing.
Let's put this in perspective. There are a lot of people in this business who've been going around and telling me that Wladimir Klitschko could beat Lennox Lewis right now. Well, they were saying it up till about 6 minutes ago anyway.
That's right. But look at the way he dismantled him. And he just fell apart. Such a big man crumbles.
In case you're still having to pinch yourself at what you've just seen, Wladimir Klitschko was knocked down 4 times. They are speechless in his corner. George Foreman cannot believe it, and he delivered a few knockouts of that kind in himself. And of course, he was the victim of one of the great shots in Kinshasa, Zaire in 1974 against Ali. But well. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy than Corrie, though.
It couldn't. Such a nice guy. Talking to him yesterday, clears off 1 handicap in golf. He realised what he was up against. He knew this was probably his last chance, and he just said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it, and then hopefully get me in with Lennox Lewis.
He just seemed to struggle with the southpaw style. He didn't seem to know where the left hands were coming from. Okay, he'd beaten Bird, but Bird's a technician. Sanders is a hitter.
He struggled with the speed. When you've got that sort of speed, with that speed, with that sort of power, then it means trouble.
I think that's the biggest upset in the heavyweight division since Evander Holyfield beat Mike Tyson when he was something like 18-1. 27 seconds of round 2, all over. Corrie Sanders has the win of his life, and that is going to be huge headlines around the boxing world.
And it really dawns on him. His manager Rodney Berman jumps in the ring to congratulate him. What a tremendous feat.
And hats off to the trainer Harold Volbrecht as well, the former welterweight. South African flags flying in the arena. This is not what they thought they were coming to see tonight. It's not what we thought we were coming to see. But the left hand of Corrie Sanders has blown away the pretensions of Wladimir Klitschko in 3 minutes and 27 seconds of frenetic, dramatic action. In a moment, I'm sure we're going to hear from the winner. Somewhere in there, I think it's Larry Merchant who's going to be doing the interview. Hasn't happened yet.
No, he's still in his commentary position.
Oh, is he? Right, okay.
So I think they're still analysing this action. And look at that left hand. He was quick to seize the opportunity. He knew how hurt he was. You know, the second round he didn't come out to wait. He knew he'd hurt him and hurt him bad. And then he was straight on him in the second round to finish the job. It is the left hand. That's the one that gave him all the trouble. Look at the power he gets into that.
Left hands through the middle. Was that the subject of the Lennox Lewis phone call last night that might have been the key to victory? Well, Corrie Sanders, or am I overstating?
I think so. I think this is naturally Corrie Sanders' style. He's got to hit first round knockout, so this is what he does. Klitschko come to him, he let him come to him, he drew him on, and it was the first left, which was a short left hook, was the first one that got him. After that he found the straight lefts. The two fighters embraced.
Can Wladimir come back from that?
Very, very hard. He can come back. He's still just young. He's only 26. He can come back. But that, you know, he was completely annihilated there.
Well, they're going to say now, aren't they, big question marks about his chin, which haven't really shown up before. I know Ross Purity had him down, but you know, in 41, now it's 42 fights, nobody'd ever looked like doing that to him.
They certainly didn't. And it was, you know, the way he did it. He did it cool and calm, and he just found the punches at the right time, and there's a very happy man.
One of the great surprises here, all smiles, Corrie Sanders, who had a sports psychologist to help him in the build-up to this fight. He was telling us to get him in the right frame of mind, make sure the desire and ambition was still there. And do you know what they're talking about? They say if he won this fight, he was going to go to Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned, and fight Evander Holyfield. It could happen, you know.
Well, I'm sure it could. It really, really could.
Well, he's inconsolable. Corrie Sanders is trying to console him. It is all over in round 2. Corrie Sanders has astonished the sporting world by knocking out Wladimir Klitschko in a couple of rounds here at a dumbfounded Hanover tonight.
They're not just dumbfounded in Germany. The thoughts of Derek, Nicky and Barry when we come back from this break, but they're pretty dumbfounded too. Corrie Sanders hasn't just gatecrashed Wladimir Klitschko's party, he's turned the world heavyweight scene upside down.